Good morning, viewers from wherever you're watching us from. It's this morning program coming to you live on QTV, and I am your host, Julden Jai. With me this morning is Mr. Ade Drame as my co-host, who is serving as Julden Jai, and of course I'm serving as Ibrahim Abalde or Jenaba Sonko.
Indeed, yes.
And our newspaper review guest this morning is Mr. Malika. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, lady. Every time I come on here, I make the joke that I hardly ever come on as myself. I'm always pretending to be somebody else. So as you rightly say, I'm either pretending to be you today, or I'm pretending to be Ibrahim Abalde. I'm not quite sure. But it's great to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much. I'm me, Mr.
Yes.
So I'm not pretending to be
Anybody.
So I'll assume anything that
he
I
has
say
successfully
as me.
secured that spot now. The newspaper review guest officially.
This week at least until
Well,
Ade sorts out,
That's right. Until Babukar comes back
and
from his
everybody
leave.
is back. Then, yeah.
Great. So the program itinerary this morning, we will be looking at the African proverb as usual, and of course we will also look at the newspaper, some of the news making headlines in the country, but also outside the country. We will also talk to our correspondent, our regional correspondent for the tour, Mamadou Lamin Choi, who is with the presidential delegation, about Meet the People tour, President Adama Barrow, and they've been going around the country, and now they are in Basse. And we will also talk to him and his the Minister of Youth and Sports, Bakari Baji, to talk to us also some of the policies and programs his ministry has in place for the people, especially young people, and in the sporting arena.
It's come up quite a lot.
Absolutely,
on the tour.
yeah. So with that, we will also we're expecting to have Buba Baji, a communication officer, on the line to talk to us about the recent vandalism of boreholes in Sukuta, Westfield, that occurred. They issued a press release in that regard, so he will update us about that. Exactly, to talk to us about that. And we will have Fatou Mas Job and Tijan Masane Sise to talk to us about the St. Joseph High School centenary celebration and fundraising cultural event.
Centenary plus 2.
Yes.
Yeah, 102.
Wow, mashallah, that's
Centenary plus 2.
That's quite unusual.
Quite.
It's been here for so long. Wow.
So it must be one of the oldest.
Absolutely,
in the country.
One of the oldest. So these and others, we will also be expecting Mohammed Haidara, who will also talk to us about the Banjul Climate Week, and these and others coming on this morning program. But before we start with anything, we will head straight to Mamadou Lamin Choi, who is in Basse, to talk to us about the happenings. We know that the president has been making lots of promises of recent, and recently he also talked about the issue of irregular migration, which has been an issue for the past weeks and months in the country. Lots of young people have embarked on this journey, and some of them successful, while others also lost their lives, not just women and men, but also children who have been, taken to this bad way. So we will, this past weeks, we've been talking to ministers to update us about their policies and programs. Sure. But this morning, we're expecting the Minister of Youth and Sports, what he has for the people of the Gambia. So, Choi, good morning.
Good morning, Julie. Good morning to my neighbor. Good morning to my friends, Mr. Darame and Mr. Ka.
Good morning.
You're looking all smart this morning.
He's probably had breakfast.
Yes.
No breakfast yet. I'm about to join the Minister of Tourism for the Mono this morning.
Okay,
wow,
cool.
Nice.
As promised.
Great.
So how has it been going? What are the latest updates as far as this Meet the People store is concerned?
Thank you very much, Julde. Right now, we are in the Central River region and CRR South. In particular, yesterday, His Excellency President Adama Barrow had 2 joint meetings of constituencies. And the highlights of this meeting, of course, featured people coming out and, dialoguing with the President on issues of national development, particularly, expressing their appreciation and gratitude for the government's intervention when it comes to addressing challenges and the problems facing the country. But there is a united voice, common consensus on some of the development challenges facing them. And farmers have been highlighting them quite frankly, and some of the interventions government of the Gambia have implemented in order to tackle those problems. When it comes to access to roads, access to water facility, and also farm machineries. Farmers in this part of the country, of course, yesterday in the meeting we had the Minister of Agriculture describing CRR as the breadbasket of the country. So here you have quite a number of farmers in the country. Rice production highly concentrated in this part of the country. And it is believed that this part of the country, when farmers are equipped with the right machineries, they can produce rice and attain the country that vision of rice self-sufficiency. So this region alone, when properly equipped and given the right support, they can help the country to attain rice self-sufficiency. So farmers have been talking about the need for government to implement more programs, to equip them with the right tools, because usually agriculture in the country here, farmers use crude tools, and this really doesn't help them when it comes to getting us the results that the country desire when it comes to food self-sufficiency. So they've been communicating with government, identifying their problems, and calling on government to ensure that the problems are tackled. So here today we have the Minister of Youth. And during the tour, we've been hearing from His Excellency President Adama Barrow expressing deep concern about recent trend of irregular migration increasing in the country. Youth embarking on irregular migration to Europe, including male and female, sometimes also children, many of whom lost their lives. His Excellency President Adama Barrow has expressed his condolences to the families of these victims, and also outlined some of the programs and the projects government is rolling out in order to tackle such problems. So he has called for a united effort to tackle the problem. But today we have the very best guest on this subject for us to talk about government's interventions in tackling such a problem. Honorable Minister Bakari Waibaji is here with us. Thank you very much for joining us, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Choi, and good morning to those in the studio, and of course everyone else who is watching. Good morning, this morning from QTV. It's good to be here.
Yeah, during the tour, when it comes to issues affecting the young people have been coming out. Yesterday, in the meetings, we've had people talking about unemployment as one of the causes of young people embarking in irregular migration. But of course, government has also been communicating some of the measures it has been taking to tackle this problem, to take it as a national, emergency towards addressing. At the level of government, through your ministry, what is happening in that regard?
Well, you're right, Mr. Choi, and of course, like you said, the president has made the irregular migration a topic in the tour throughout, from the first meeting in the North Bank, Pagaunjogo, all the way to yesterday in Bikamaba. It has been talked about, and of course, we talk about the issues, condolences to the families, but also try to discourage families from investing their resources in taking these young people, or the young people themselves demanding to go, and encouraging regular migration, one that is safer and better for everyone else, so that we reduce the incidence of the deaths that is happening in the Mediterranean Sea. But of course, yes, the question has been, what is there for young people in the country? And frankly, nobody is going to claim that everything is good, everything is rosy. No, we know that there are challenges, we know that there are issues, but there are also some progress, and there are also quite a number of projects that young people can depend on and start something small and grow with it. And this is also part of the communication. So the president he's been talking about in the vocational training, TVET, institutions that we are decentralizing, moving training from the urban area to the rural area with the construction of certain skill centers, TVET training institutes in CRR here, and some in Fonyi, and then in North Bank. This is meant to ensure that our young people are equipped with skills so that they can be employable or be employed. Also at the other sectors within our own Ministry of Youth and Sports, we have the National Youth Service Scheme. It has been on for a while. Every 2 years we recruit a number of people, up to 200 plus, to train them on skills, and government pays their skills, their fees, and give them a stipend. But this year, on August 3rd, I think, the President launched the National Youth Service Program, which is meant to give an intensive program or on-the-job training to young people that are graduating from the university and struggle to get a job. This, in addition to the loan scheme and the grant that the Ministry of Youth and Sports is running through the NEDI and the SDF, is all meant to support young people. So these are some of the issues that the President has been talking about, but he has also talked about supporting some Gambians who are interested in traveling to go to Saudi for the training, the employment package that he has signed in his recent trip to Saudi, which is, again, because we understand that there is a problem of employment here. People want to live. So how do we make it safer for them to live is to be able to negotiate with other countries to make traveling easier for them, but also create opportunities in these countries where they go and they can be employed, and they will have the freedom to go in and out as they wish and be able to earn legally and be able to support their families back home. So these are some of the things that the President has been talking about, and we know the new employment policy talks about creating 150,000 jobs and job opportunities for Gambians in the next 5 years. So these are the issues we've been telling the people, and the President has communicated this very well. But I think, again, like I said, the most important thing is to tell people that, yes, migration is legal, migration is normal, but let's make it safer and reduce the incidence of deaths.
Well, one will argue, of course, some of the things that government is doing, decentralizing access to TVET, promoting skills training in the country. But when it comes to employment, decent jobs, to have decent jobs that will help them earn a living to support their families is really difficult in this country, despite acquiring all these skills.
I agree with you. I think that's where the industrialization comes into place, because here the biggest employer right now is government. Now in the developed world is the opposite, because government by nature don't have a lot of jobs. It's mostly in the nursing field, in the education sector, in the security. The civil service is just a small group. But then we need to look at the numbers. How many are employed as nurses or doctors or teachers or security? It's a minimal number. The rest struggles to get jobs in the corporate world and in the SOEs and others. So the rest of it is more of how can we intensify the research or the approach to make Gambia an investment hub and encourage investors to come into the country and invest and open companies that can be able to employ people. And government has been doing that, because people hear about the SIC, the Special Investment Certificate that the ministry gives, the Ministry of Trade, I mean. And then we know about the single window business registration, which is all meant to ensure that somebody can register a business in a day. So these are all opening up investment. But again, those are things that people have to make a choice to come in. But yes, government have a responsibility, and we're doing that in marketing Gambia and ensuring that we open up the opportunities for employment so that these young people that are getting trained can also be employed. But again, outside government, we want to see people not seeking employment, but also for them to create employment through those trainings that they have. Now, for instance, if you finish 2 years of training and then maybe another 1 year or so of practical training in a different institution, training institution, somebody might be good enough to join maybe another person to learn the skill better and open a workshop for himself. But if you look at our informal sector, there is high dependency on people that are non-Gambians. In the tailoring industry, in the fishing industry, in the mechanic, in the carpentry. These are the things that we want to address. And that's why we're creating those opportunities for training, so that these young people will no longer just graduate and try to seek employment, but they themselves would be employing themselves and employ others. And that is what we encourage, including in the business sector with the grant and the loan that we are giving. So it's a process, but we're hopeful that with the current trend, things will change in the next 3-5 years, and the unemployment rate will be reduced significantly.
Minister, I'll allow my colleagues there in the studio to ask questions on this topic.
So, Minister Baji, one would expect that, of course, you did mention the TVET, the loan scheme, the grant, and all other initiatives that the government is rolling out to ensure that young people have employment. But what I've not heard you talk about is the issue of sport in this country. We know that lots of young people are engaged in the sporting activity, football, volleyball, and basketball. In terms of policy-wise, what is the ministry doing different as far as come 2024, you know, when the budget is there? What are some of the things that are expected that the ministry will be implementing as far as sporting is concerned in this country?
Yeah, well, in 2024, we're looking forward to continuing what we're doing right now. And of course, people have seen a significant change under the government of President Adama Barrow in terms of investment in sports. And I proudly say that the amount of investment that is happening in sports in this current government of President Barrow has not happened any time in the past. And this is both in terms of infrastructure and also in the investment in competitions and the development of talent. And this, we've seen the results. I mean, there is no time in history when we are talking about football the way we are talking about it and the advancement where we have reached. The same thing can be said of athletics and beach volleyball and regular volleyball and other activities. Additionally, there is some improvement in the infrastructure. So 2024, we are looking forward to continue that. In this area of the upcountry, there are about 4 football fields, or mini stadiums like they call them, that were under construction. And the president visited one of them, or is going to visit one of them tomorrow in Kiang, which is completed and is going to be handed over to the community of Kiang as a mini stadium, which is the first of its kind in the Kiang areas. And in Sandu, that also has been completed, and the community is ready to inaugurate it in December and start using it in January of 2024. I mean, the same thing can be said of Buyam and then in Kafuta. These are all new projects that the government is doing across the country. And when we started it, our intention is to also give young people in the rural area some equal facilities like those in the Combos. Again, if you go to Combo, you know the one that we are doing in Bakote that they call Mboyo Field, which has been a regular football field, and now it's been developed into a standard mini stadium. The Independence Stadium, built in 1983, never renovated. The government is currently renovating it, and in 2024, we're looking forward to continue to improve that structure so that it can meet the requirements of CAF. And the president will also be visiting that place as part of his tour. So these are all ongoing work in the infrastructure. But again, in 2024, we know we're going to AFCON for the second time. And government has the primary responsibility to provide a bigger funding for the national team, and we're preparing to do that in addition to all the other activities that are taking place. Our beach volleyball, we are recently in Senegal to play in the Zone 2, and they went all the way to the final, and then of course Senegal defeated them in the final, but that reaching the final also qualifies them to the Continental Championship that's happening in mid-2024 in preparation for the Olympics in Paris in 2024 August. So these are ongoing activities, and we are proud that we are supervising these things and providing the necessary funds to ensure that our young people actively participate in sports both in country and outside the country.
Sadi?
Yes, Honorable Minister, thanks for joining the program. Adi Darami here. I just wondered, as you go around the country wearing the hat of youth and sports, when the tour finishes, if somebody said to you, what are your 3 priorities that you would like to see come to fruition, what would those be?
Well, one will be the increase in the employment opportunities for young people as a means to empowering them and their families. And secondly is to improve on our sport infrastructure, because we've also had more communities demand for mini stadiums or football fields, mini stadiums, that's how they call it here. And in almost every meeting, there will be a speaker that will say, my community, wants a mini stadium. And so that is the second part that we're looking at. And the third, even though it's not just about youth and sports, is this issue of skills training. TVET acts a means to improving the lives and living conditions of these communities. So these, for me, are the three things that I would pick up from here, and we will be looking forward to working towards them as a ministry, but in some instances working in tandem with some of the other ministries that are related to what we do.
Thanks. I can just pick up on the mini stadium one. When I was watching the AFCON qualifiers this week, I was almost embarrassed when they were saying that some of the African countries that were able to play at home had used FIFA Forward Fund. That fund has been sitting there since 2016. I think Gambia has taken less than 10% of it. And other countries in our region and sub-region have used that money and used it. Perhaps a slightly unfair question because it's GFF that should be, but given the importance of football in this country, why have we, 7 years later, still only taken 10% of the 12 million or whatever it was, $11.6 million that's been sitting there? Ourselves, Sierra Leone's even worse, by the way. I think they've only taken about 5%, but nonetheless. Shouldn't somebody knock heads together to say, let's use this money, it's there, it's sitting there, it's for us, for nobody else. Each country has been allocated $11.6 million. It's a lot of money, and a lot can be done with it.
It is, yeah. No, well, that's true. I agree with you, because I think we've seen those kings, and like I said, they're almost about 22 countries, I think, that are still playing outside their countries in Africa. Yeah. Not a good thing for countries in Africa, and including Gambia, of course. But of course, with regards to the FIFA, like you said yourself, it's more of a football federation issue. Sure. Government have no right whatsoever to request for anything from CAF, not to even talk of FIFA. And it's only the federation that can deal with them, and that's where it stops. So, but again, I know there's a criteria for accessing those funds, and the criteria is primarily benchmarked on the successes of that federation, and how much they're able to manage previous resources that have been given to them, and quite a number of other things. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's about us not meeting those criteria, or probably not reporting adequately on the previous funds that were provided. I'm not very sure, but I know there is a criteria that must be met to access those funds. And maybe, I don't know, probably the Federation will be able to give those answers very well.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And thank you, Mamadou Lamin Choi, for giving us those updates. Thank you. That was Mamadou Lamin Choi, our colleague, who has been doing a very good job as far as this tour is concerned, giving us every detail of the tour. And I must say, the minister did mention quite some important points as far as youth employment is concerned, as far as skills accusation is concerned, as far as also infrastructure is concerned, because it has, for far too long, there has not been any decentralization of sporting activities. Not just that, but in all other ministries, the rural Gambia is oftentimes isolated, as far as this is concerned. But I'm glad that now this decentralization part is there.
Yeah, I mean,
quickly before we wrap up on this.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Malik, you didn't have a chance to ask a question, so perhaps you want to come in.
Yeah, I was going to say that Gambia started from a very low baseline in terms of everything, and it would have been a challenge in any case for any sitting government. If you look at the infrastructure of the Gambia, it was almost non-existent. If you travel the rural area and you know it, you would have seen the poor conditions. Almost roads were not even existing. So the fact that the government is coming out and then articulating their policies and programs addressing these issues, I think it's welcoming. People ought to hear what they are doing, what are issues that are being, because sometimes things happen, but because you are not communicating, people are detached from the facts, and the facts, fiction, and all this speculation does not help. So it is good that they come and they show us tangible results as to what they are doing. And this tour is also doing that. They're highlighting, they're going to centers and places and showing us this is what is being done in this area, this is what is being done in that area. plus the other challenges that the people are highlighting. So I think it's important.
It is.
And I think it's good that we have to appreciate when good is being done. Also, we continue to challenge for accountability.
Absolutely.
For any sitting government, we'll have to ask questions. That is the role of the media and the people.
Absolutely.
Because they are trustees of public funds.
Totally
And
agree.
if you are holding public funds, people are entitled to ask and know where they are being channeled to. And yeah, that is my take on it.
Yeah, so Mr. Ade, let's quickly look at the African proverb. Oh, you want to comment on that?
Well,
before
just
we
quickly, I
finally
mean,
wrap up?
just to agree about the fact that many countries don't have Meet the People tour. In the Gambia, they have it, and I think those who saying it shouldn't exist should go to countries where they don't have it, and you'll see the difference. And as Troy said there, he said when farmers speak, they're not sugarcoating anything. They're being quite frank about what their problems are, but they're also saying, yes, we thank you for the progress that has been brought. So long may it continue. But yes, the African proverb it says claims it's from Guinea. I suspect it's not, but it says to make preparations does not spoil the trip. To make preparations does not spoil the trip. I would thought quite the opposite, but so I know you're always hiding, but
Yes.
I'll come to Malik first. Malik, what's your take on that?
Well, this is for me, you have to, like going into an exams, you have to study and work hard in order to be able to answer the questions. If you are going on a trip for hunting or doing anything, you have to go equipped. Without being equipped, you will not be able to do what you ought to do. So therefore, preparation is important in the success of anything. If you don't prepare, you are preparing to fail.
Sure.
So it's always good to plan and prepare. So in anything you do in life, you have to sit down, weigh all the options, look at what tools you need, and then get yourself ready and go with the right tools and do the right job. In the absence of that, you are preparing to fail.
I'm smiling because if my siblings are watching this, they're probably smiling as well, because in the literal sense, they will know that every time we're deciding to go on holiday, my suitcase is packed a week before the trip. So it's like I have peace of mind for 7 days. I'm chilled. I'm not rushing around putting anything into my suitcase at the last minute. But as Malik says, it's like if you're taking an exam, if you want to succeed, put in the preparations. And literally, as you use the thing, if you're going hunting, imagine you're going hunting and you get there, there's whatever you're hunting, and suddenly, hey, I forgot my bullets. You're in trouble. So, it's about being prepared for whatever it is you intend to do, whether it's work or whether it's an exam or whether it's literally a trip or just something. You have a project in mind, plan for it. If you don't, as Malik rightly says, you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
Absolutely.
So, and you?
I totally agree with all of you.
No, we
you
want
said.
your own take.
I'm going to plagiarize. So it's just like in the case of Majak, oftentimes Sang is very good at telling us that let's do mind mapping. Right. Whatever story that we about to do, he will tell us to mind map, all the possible angles of the story, all the possible sources, and it's quite interesting. Sometimes you start off with a story idea and it leads you to another, So that is the why preparation is very important in whatever you do in life. Not just that, but it has really taught me that, there is always a bigger picture when you prepare. You realize that, okay, you might settle for less, but then when you prepare, you realize that, oh, I think this one will be more interesting if I really venture into that. So yeah, preparations always help. And this sister of mine who always do to-do list every day on a daily basis, she will have her list and okay, this is my to-do list, and she always makes sure that she follows it strictly. I mean, like, I don't know how you are able to do this, but yeah, it makes her more effective.
I used to, but I don't anymore.
Exactly, and I think it's very.
A minute ago, you were running helter-skelter because you didn't have a pen.
Yeah.
And you wanted to take Addis pen. That goes
like, I don't know why you have to mention that.
You have to be prepared. So without that tool, you would not have been able to do. So you have to run helter-skelter. And you said, no, you're not getting my tool because I'm going to work. So it's like you're going to an exams and you don't have a working pen. And then you're sitting to start. So what do you do? So the tools are important to be prepared. Always, it does not spoil. It just makes it happen.
And Malik's mentioned a very important thing. I know we have other things to do, but when I first joined QTV, every morning before the reporters went out, as they were about to go, I would say, show me your notepad, show me your pen. And some of them would say, oh, I take stuff on my phone. I said, no, in case you're not able to do, have a pen. Your phone could die. You know, this, unless it runs out of ink, and this, you know, no, take your notepad, take your pen, and you're a proper reporter. So, yeah.
So with that, we will go for a short commercial break. When we return, the program continues. So stay tuned.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. .5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. Soro. Go. Ebe dawa full network suda tili. QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata. QCell. Most reliable network dumala geta wati. QCell. Wo quality man nyon soda jam pona manke QCell. Hanibe wulo ni farole kono walante be bakono jala fayola network ko se taria. QCell suñu boss. Ño fi njeka indi 3G ñu delu taxi 4G plus and now we bring you 5G. 5G. First and only 5G provider. Itella follow adi doron nesa keno. Gambia bela nyon tawa fele QCell. Ko fasunta buka busi QCell. Itella moldi milka kukutol nati Gambia. QCell made lori la kilianol yele imanyina amanda wala itella ka quality dila dadi ma itelle silo wala wodol mume be kenoma. QCell sunibus. QCell sunibus. QCell sunibus. QCell sunibus. Connection be bambandi QCell sunibus. QCell most innovative QCell sunibus.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV This Morning program coming to you on QTV, and I am Juldenya. With me is Mr. Ade Drami. And, you know, we were talking to our colleague Momodu Lamin Choi on the Meet the People store and the Minister of Youth and Sports, Bakari Waibaji. And, yeah, also we delve on our African proverb, but unfortunately we could not go to our newspaper review as we do normally because we are running out of time or against time. So we are going straight to Fatou Mas Job, who is an alumni of the St. Joseph High School, and Tijan Masane Sise, who is alumni of St. Augustine's High School. And of course the topic is St. Joseph's High School Centenary Plus Celebration and Fundraising Cultural Event. Good morning, Ma, and good morning, Uncle Tijan.
Good morning, Julia.
Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Ade.
Good
Thanks for
morning.
having us.
Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you.
So it's a centenary +2.
Yes.
So 102 years, which is quite old. Is it one of the oldest in the country?
I guess
must
so.
be.
Yes, it's
It
one of
must
the
be.
oldest, yes.
So what can we look forward to in these centenary +2 celebrations?
Thank you very much for having us. I think I'll hand over to Tijan to tell you about the event itself, and I will just touch on what St. Joseph's have done for Gambian women, both living here and abroad. So Tijan, my brother.
Well, thank you, of course. I sit here today with profound sadness, having lost a very dear sister, Roy Yatajai. May her soul rest in peace. And also representing a part of me, St. Joseph's High School. As you know, I don't know if you've ever heard of the late man Tamsir Njai. He sang it so well. Kulere Dekina, St. Augustine's or St. Joseph, St. Yango. So we kind of support each other. We are one school divided by a fence.
Yeah, sure.
We have the females here and the boys on the other side. It's just so rewarding to see every alumni class of the 80s rise up to the occasion and do what they do for their school. And they've led the way, and the men are now following. They have a state-of-the-art robotics program. They were recently in Japan, came second place in Ghana recently. These are the great things that St. Joseph's High School is doing. And it was facilitated by the alumni. Now, this program, which will be a cultural extravaganza that is unheard of, it's never happened here before, comes in the heels of trying to do some work in the school, the basketball court, the pavilions, etc., etc. Like I said, alumni of previous years have done their part. Every year, a different group comes. So they started with what was the sponsored work.
Okay.
They raised a lot of money. Of course, they made sure we knew that they raised a lot of money, amplifying it all
That's
over the
just to make
place.
you
We
feel
still
even-
can't mic them
Make you feel jealous.
because of
Right.
what they have in terms of capacity.
Sure.
When you have a justice and a former minister, you have an AU rep at the UN, you have the head of UNESCO education, they're very powerful.
Yeah, sure.
And we want to compliment what they're doing. And as their brothers, even though many, many years ago, I remember when I was in Form 3 or 4, they won a debate between the two schools that we shouldn't become co-educational in their dreams.
Okay, go on.
We've always been one family, and anywhere they call us, we come. And that's why I'm here today,
Sure.
representing the entire St. Augustine's High School family.
Sure.
These are our sisters. When they get up, we are behind them.
Sure.
And they know how to make things happen. And if you look at the trajectory of the work that the Cluninons have done here over a century ago,
Sure.
and these girls have taken from those values
Sure.
to give back, I think it is beyond commendable and beyond remarkable. And I think that the Gambian people in general should come out and be part of this cultural event to support it. Because at the end of the day, we always go back to our national pledge. It is a combination of people and the government, right? Government and the people.
Sure.
And here they come, doing their part, and this is going to be huge. And they should come out and invest in education. Like the minister just said, talking about investment, this is our own people complementing government efforts.
And the event, where is that going to take place?
Fatumas, go for the kill.
Okay, thank you. The event is on the 15th of December, and it will be at Seafront Hotel.
Okay.
And I'll get to the bit about the tickets. But I think what is important is, like he said, he alluded to the fact that St. Joseph's have done great things. We are over 100 years old. Now, the school have produced great women. Great women, I must say, in this country. When you go to St. Joseph's, you are taught to be dedicated, to love your country, and be dedicated to public service. And from St. Joseph's High School, we had the first woman establishment secretary in the name of Mrs. Mary Langley Ninjai. She was the highest ranking public servant as head of government in her day. We have produced the first female or woman mayor. Rohi Malik Low is one of us. The school have also given us 2 secretary generals. We have Honorable Mrs. Julia Joyner, and our current secretary general, Sally Toure, is also an alumni of St. Joseph's High School. The present Minister of Basic and Secondary Education is also an alumni, Claudiana Cole. The former Ministers of Education, Antares Dongjata, Anti Satang Jau, are all alumni of St. Joseph's High School.
And Fatou Mas Job, who is the Minister of Tourism and Culture.
Yeah, I was one of them.
You,
yes, I was one of them. And then you have Susan Wafa Ogo and so many women.
Former Minister of Tourism.
Accountant Generals too.
Sure.
Margaret Keter and the current Accountant General, Agnes Macaulay. Now you have the judges. You have Honorable Justice Hadisila Cecilia Roche and our very own Justice Veronique Wright. In fact, Veronique Wright is the chairperson of class of 83.
Okay.
They're all part of the Court of Appeal. And then you have Zainab Jawara Alami, the High Court. You have many lawyers. Ida Dennis Drame, Hawa Sisi Sabali, Mary Samba, Rachel Mendy, Cecilia Sagar Tuam, the list goes on. You go to Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, there are over 6 doctors who are all alumni of St. Joseph's High School.
Wow.
You come to business, we are very good at it. Lali Diab Ganim Emporium is from St. Joseph's High School. Leila of Malak Chemist is from St. Joseph's High School. Ida Sen Conte.
Wow.
Adu Letsi. The list goes on. And Fatu Jaite, who is also part of class of 83, is also from St. Joseph's High School. Now, somebody came to my mind this morning, Auntie Sarah Gray Johnson. If I'm not mistaken, is she not the first broadcaster at the Gambia, Radio Gambia?
Radio Gambia.
Yeah.
Another great woman. The list can go on. You have Kinsa Jawara Ekowas. You have Fatoumata Wage, also Bafro. You have so many women that this school, great women that the school have produced. And I think all of us, when we are called to serve our country, we did exceptionally well. And why? Because we have the DNA of St. Joseph's High School.
Wow.
Now St. Joseph's Senior Secondary
Now
School.
I'm jealous.
No,
I
because
think
it's
I
the
should start
DNA.
one for St. Peter's as well,
Can
really.
I ask a question?
She's making me jealous.
One quick question. I know you're dying to jump in. But just for the briefest of histories,
Yes.
am I right in saying these were started by the Catholic
Yes,
Church?
yes, yes.
Because yes,
Including
in
sisters
case
from Ireland.
Yeah.
exactly, because you know, people might not be aware. And was it originally called, because in Sierra Leone we had one which was originally called St. Joseph's Convent before it became St.
It
Joseph's
was a convent first.
High School.
Yeah, it was a convent first,
then
then
later-
high
yeah,
school.
then
Yes.
high school.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yes.
Well,
Tija.
she talked about
Yes.
the civil service section. Let's talk about sports.
Right.
Yeah.
The greatest basketball player, female in Gambian history, Marie-Louise Mendy, is from St. Joseph's High School.
Wow.
We can talk about our Cheng, the greatest all-round female athlete, Dadoja, Binta Dafe, Elizabeth Bajo, the best point guard that ever played basketball in this country. They all
Now
from
I'm
St.
jealous.
Joseph's High School. So, you know, I know those
Don't be
people
jealous.
across our neighbors, they don't like this.
Hey, here you go.
The St. Peter's and
But it's a,
I assume this is going to be a very spectacular event
It's a
with
great
all
school.
these
And
dynamic ladies.
we owe it to the school. You walk into St. Joseph's Senior Secondary School right now and you're saying, wow, we need to do more.
Right.
We need to give back. And we are calling on all the alumni, their daughters, their sons, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren, everybody that have benefited. In fact, the entire Gambian population.
You took the words right out of my
Yeah.
mouth. I said, I was going to say, considering what the school has given to the Gambia,
Yeah.
We should be reaching out to the Gambian population,
Honestly.
not just alumni and the children of
From the president
you know, yeah,
to the first ladies,
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
cabinet ministers.
Everybody.
And we're just asking for $2,500 ordinary tickets and $5,000 for patrons. Tickets are being sold at the school, St. Joseph Senior Secondary School, and at the butcher shop, because we partnered with Mr. Bensouda Dries to do the catering.
Right.
But we have to do some work. We have a list of things. We have a bill of quantities for what needs to be done for the school.
Okay.
And we are organizing this cultural event by Centenary +2, but to raise funds to make sure we help the school. Now, all the students attending St. Joseph's also and their parents should see themselves in this particular event. And the entire Gambian population. And I'm hoping that QTV Group will be main sponsors. They will buy tables for their staff, and
I hope
President
I
Barrow,
hope the people are watching.
President Barrow will also do something. Maybe give us like $5 million as donation.
At least.
The First Lady and Mohammed Jaqui Group and Madam Aissatou Jah, each of them $1 million each.
Oh,
that will be great.
Absolutely.
That would be lovely.
So where is the event? Where is it taking place?
Seafront Hotel.
Seafront
Hotel. 15th of December.
15th of
And we're
December.
selling the tickets right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are some of the locations that you're selling the tickets?
The butcher shop.
Butcher shop.
And then you have the school. I have some telephone numbers also. If anybody's interested in the tickets, you can call 332-0024. I repeat, 332-0024 or 222202 or 716-3027. And of course, Tijan, you can give them your number. You're part of us.
Oh, really?
Yes, Uncle Tijan.
Julia's number is my number. My other daughter is away in Dubai. But
And if anybody didn't catch that, just send us an email, news
Yes.
at qtv.gm, and we will respond, of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. But I'm planted to ask, St. Joseph currently, this fundraising, the money, what are you going to really spend it on? Some of the areas that
Okay, we have
list
we
of
have the
I see
pavilion.
the list here.
We have a pavilion. We want to build a pavilion. Of course, we have to do the basketball pitch. It's in a bad state. Basketball pitch is one. We need to do the plumbing. I think we have a breakdown of the cost. I don't know whether you want to know the cost.
No, just the.
And then
just
we
the
want to
items that are
also
being-
we also want to do the pavement. The school needs to be paved. We want to sort out the gutters. We want to do the drainage. It's really in a bad shape. If you go to the home economics department, you find these girls struggling to do their practicals. It is really unacceptable considering what the school have given to this particular country. If you walk in there, so we went to the trouble of doing all these things, having the cost. All we need now is the money, lots of money, to make sure we give back to the school. And we are also, these girls, the girls that are there are going to be us tomorrow, or even do better than us tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So we have everything planned. If we receive the money today, we'll start spending tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uncle Tijan?
I just want to add, I'm a frequent visitor of the school, and it's headed by Hannah Kipikoka, a recent graduate, if it is recent. And I can say this, and I do so with confidence and no reservation. It is the most disciplined school I've ever seen in the Gambia. I have seen her send, actually, if your uniform is not up the knees, you have to buy a new uniform. They're already sewn. They're selling it. There. You know, you can't have your phone. I've just witnessed some things that she's doing with the staff that is very, very encouraging. And I'll say this, if you want to build that lady, prepare her today, take her to Boxborough, St. Joseph's High School, or Elabra.
Thank you very much, Auntie Fatomas Job, who is the Gambia's former Minister of Tourism and Culture. I can remember, I was wrong then, but I still remember. And I have Tijan Masane Sise, who's also a historian.
And a frequent visitor to QTV.
QTV. He's like part of us now. Thank you very much, ma'am and gentlemen, for coming on the show.
And we wish you every success with the program.
Yeah.
So people, please come out and support.
Support, absolutely. They needed that support, which is always a problem in this country. Thank you very much, Ade. Yes. Thank you, Ade.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, viewers. That's all we have for you in this edition of this.
Oh, I thought we had our
Okay.
people.
So we will go for a short commercial break. When we return, the program continues. My apologies.
Brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow.
Step into the Espas Motors showroom for your luxurious name brand vehicle. Located along the Bertil Harding Highway, Espas Motors is the Gambia's authorized dealer for Chery, Kia, Ford, and now we bring you the new Peugeot Model 3008 SUV. 18-inch alloy wheels, 216 inches high ground clearance, keyless entry system, start and stop button, rear parking assistance system with reverse camera, adaptive cruise control with speed limit, LED daytime running lights, front and side airbags, 8-inch HD touchscreen. Not to forget our exquisite Peugeot Landtrek double cabin pickup with 2.1-liter diesel engine, 6-speed manual transmission 4x4, hill descent control, LED daytime running lights. Espas Motors, the authorized dealer for Peugeot. Visit us today or call us on 35-2222 or 353-4444.
Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions to suit your needs and budget. With our diverse range of programming, you can be sure that your ad will reach a broad and engaged audience. From our popular news broadcast to our exciting music and entertainment programming, QTV has something for everyone. QTV, the premier destination for advertising in the Gambia. Contact us today and let us help you reach your audience. Banking the smart way with the new Ajibank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Ajibank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Ajibank, your investment partner.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is This Morning program coming to you on our studios on Karaba Avenue, and I am Julde Njai. On the line we have Buba Baji, who is the communication officer of NAWEC, and he will talk to us about the vandalism of boreholes at Sukuta, Westfield, that happened recently. They issued a release. Good morning, Mr. Baji.
Good morning, Julde.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, fine, thank you.
So, the vandalism of boreholes in Sukuta, Westfield, take us through that.
Yeah, we have almost 60% of our well fields within the zone of Sukuta, entering the Latrias and the like. So this has been ongoing for for the past 2-3 years now, but recently it have just escalated to another level. The last time that happened, almost 4 boreholes were vandalized in one night.
Oh.
Giving a total, because all the 4 boats combined together, in a day, they will pump each of them will pump almost 4 million liters of water. Imagine, minusing that from the network, it's very bad for us and bad for the whole nation as well.
So were you able to, know or have any lead as to who is actually responsible for this vandalism?
No, not yet, because the matter have been reported to the police, especially the police station at the Latvia police station, and they visited the scene and the investigations are on high gear. This has been happening, and anytime it happens, we do report it to the police, and the police also do. Once, about 4 years ago, once somebody was caught, prosecuted, and jailed, but for this one, they are yet to be caught, and we hope they will be caught.
So you did mention that this has been happening. Of course, this is not the first time. So what are some of the mechanisms you're putting in place to ensure that these things will not become the new normal?
Yes, already there are security measures that are been taken into consideration. We are working together with the security apparatus, that is our sister security audits are helping us to come up with a strategy. And then definitely, I'm sure in a very short period, we'll have a very good, maybe perhaps CCTV is one of the things that are also in the pipeline.
Okay.
Yeah, Buba, we said that they were vandalized. Is it the case that they were all vandalized in exactly the same way? And if so, what exactly has been done to them, which might show there's a pattern, or maybe it's the same people or persons that are doing it? Do we know what form this vandalism took?
Okay, the three of the boreholes were all vandalized the same way, because the guy, the individual or the culprit, will cut the, there's this copper cable. So they will cut the copper cable, which normally don't even take more than 2 meters from them.
Right.
If they cut the copper cable, they also break into the chaos. That is, it's in the chaos. That's where the panel is. You have the borehole outside within the perimeter fence, but also there is another small house. That house is the borehole panels. We call it the chaos. Now, they will also go to the panel, and then sometimes they even butcher it. If I mean butcher it, means breaking all the gadgets, beyond repairs. That's what they do. That's what they do. Yeah.
So I'm sure that you've conducted a needs assessment. And how long do you think that these boreholes will be fixed again, those that are you're able to fix? And if not, some of the boreholes that needs replacement, how long do you think it will take NAWEC to actually get these things done?
Yes. Already, as we speak, after 24 hours, we were able to fix 2 of them, and then finally now all of them have been fixed. But as I speak to you, I understand last night another one have also been vandalized. I am yet to confirm the story, but this is what is emerging now, that another one was touched again.
I think Malika is one of the victims of last night's one, so yes.
So, yeah. Absolutely. It's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate.
Sure.
So how urgent are you really devising means or measures to be able to really address these things? Because it's not just costing NAWEC, but it's also costing Gambians lots of money to actually get these things fixed every time they are vandalized. Really, how soon are you really, addressing these things?
Yeah, what we normally do is whenever they vandalize, we don't wait. We move quickly too, because, these are boreholes that are pumping. Almost these are one of the boreholes that are giving the bigger supply, especially when you talk of water. So what we do is we don't wait. It's very costly because, you go out there trying to scout for, materials that you are not even expecting to be getting them. So you go by this at a very high rate. But again, as I said, Juliet, this is not for NAWEC. This is a Gambian asset. And then this thing is done to all Gambians. All of us should be our police officers to be able to catch these people, because this is very unfair. If you reach to these posts and see the way these individuals, I'm not sure if it is 1 or 2, the way they do it, it's too bad. Yeah, it's too bad.
So I know, in terms of awareness raising, what is NAWEC doing about that? I know that, of course, ignorance of the law is not an excuse, but it's important that you engage people with regards to, how important to actually preserve and maintain some of these things, because, like you mentioned, it's not an individual thing.
No.
So awareness creation, what is NAWEC doing about that?
Yeah, we had some community engagement, especially into those areas, the Mariamakundas, the Latria, the Sarepatas. It has had community engagements in the past. Just to tell them, if you see anybody cutting closer to these boreholes, please, just call these numbers, which are even free.
Okay.
That is the 1669, and there's another number that we give to them to call. But unfortunately, these people, I'm not sure at the time, because these other ones were done at the wee hours of the night, because the operator realized, dropped within the supply line, that was around 5 in the morning. So it might be done around 4 or 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Buba Baji, for those updates.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you very much.
That was Buba Baji, Communications Officer at NAWEC. And now, Mr. Ade, that's really shocking there, but it's not the first time, so it's not new, for Gambians to really vandalize public properties. But what's important is some of the measures that they're coming up with, because he did specifically mention that. It's not new.
it's not new, but it's also quite difficult to guard against certain things. What I always find perplexing is why anybody would want to do such a thing. Because the water is something that all of us benefit from, even possibly the people who vandalize. So I've never understood the mentality of people who do that. As he said, they break into the kiosk and they even damage the equipment. For what purpose? I mean, what's, you know, if they said, oh, it's got a solar panel that we can steal and that's what I came to steal, at least that's criminal, but at least you might be able to understand that. But it just seems as if it is vandalism. And that's why I was asking him, what form did this vandalism take? Because I just wanted to understand, and I'm perplexed by it.
So we have on the studios with us is Mohamed Haidara and Bineta Sanyang Bass, who are from the Banjul Climate Week. They will be talking to us about the Banjul Climate Week, actually, what it's about, what it seeks to achieve, and all of that. So good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning, both of you. And I'll break protocol by saying, Mohamed, you're a friend and regular person here at QT. I'll start with you.
This morning.
So, what exactly is Banjul Climate Week? Give us some of the history and what you intend to achieve by it.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. The Banjul Week of Action for Climate Justice and Keep Your Promise campaign. It's a campaign that is organized by all, African countries, especially that are part of the Pan-African, climate justice. We have a Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance. So this alliance really helps us to make sure that we synchronize our effort in requesting to the G7 and G20 nations concerning the loss and damage that fund that Africans have been requesting during COP, meaning the Conference of Parties. Because that being the case, because the whole of continent of Africa emit the least amount of CO2 when it comes to climate change, and that being the case, but we are still being affected exactly. So that being the case, then this year COP, all African nations were like, why not we start a campaign then before COP so that they can know that this is our stand and this is what we're going to demand as a continent. So that's what from this Banjul Week of Climate Action and also Keep Your Promise campaign. That's why we capture with Keep Your Promise campaign, because they pledge to give African countries trillions of dollars for them to at least build their resilience, build their adaptation, build their mitigation, and then to also finance some of their loss and damage that are affected by the vulnerable communities. But still now, we are yet to even receive even a token of that. Exactly. So we even say that's a token because nothing have not been received yet. So for them, they are saying that, it's not a force. But for us, we felt like it's a force because if you are saying African countries not to go on for development, not to go for industrialization, then you must give us something so that we can at least...
And also they have pledged in front of the whole world that they would do this.
They will do this, exactly.
So Benita, if we can come to you, what is your role in this? And because Mohamed is no stranger to us. But
yes, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
It's an honor to be here. I'm Benita Sanyang Bass, and I'm the Finance and Admin Officer with YVE, that's Young Volunteers for the Environment.
Oh, our YVE. I was a member of YVE.
Oh, yes.
Why did you stop being one? You put that in the past tense.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on, sorry.
Yes, and Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance, which he just mentioned. And the Secretariat for Pan-African Climate Justice is in Nairobi.
Right.
Yes, and this campaign is found almost in every African country. And my role here is to represent my ED, that is Mr. Joe Bonge. He's not around, he's out of the country. Okay. And when this campaign came in, I have to step in.
Joe Bonge sounds Sierra Leonean.
He's a Gambian.
He's Gambian, Joe.
So, yes, I'm here on behalf of my organization. And basically, we are in collaboration with Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance in Kenya, in partnership with NEA and is it Gambia Alliance. These are the people that we are in partnership. The National Environment Agency and Gambia Environmental Alliance. So we are in partnership with this in order to achieve this.
So what are some of the things that we can look forward to in this week of action, as you described it, Mohammed? If I can come to you, what are some of the things we can expect to see?
Mr. Ade, we conduct this week of action last week because COP have already started.
Yes.
Because we are right now, the COI is the ongoing. That's the Conference of Youth. And I'm glad that Gambia is among the 6 countries out of the entire world being nominated to at least present our, our youth statement.
Sure.
So this shows you that, we are really championing when it comes to environmental conservation and environmental awareness and education globally. So, but like that not only limit us, because we are like, this is also part of a pre-COP campaign, sort of, to make sure that, let them understand that this is our agenda, this is what we want, because, we even saw what happened this year. CRR that has never floated in this country have witnessed flooding for the first time, and those areas are considered as highland areas. So what will happen if the devastation of climate change continue to impact our vulnerable countries? So not only Gambia, but other vulnerable countries within this the Sahel. Like we have seen that, a lot of, migrants are going because the lands are no more fertile. That being the case, we call them climate migrants, because it's not that they are just migrating because of work and other stuff, because their fathers' lands are no more fertile. The agricultural production that they are working on are no more, producing enough for them. So that being the case, they have to go and look for other means of survival. So this is what we are campaigning, and to make sure that let the global world understand that this is a concern, and we the youth are not going to sit behind and allow things to be there without taking serious steps. That's why we are doing the campaign here, and our other followers are, our colleagues are also in Dubai, make sure that our voices are heard over there. And I'm glad that, our report was considered as one of the 6 reports throughout the world, Gambian report, the youth statement report. And I'm glad that that report already captures some of these things. And yet still we want, Gambians to understand, and especially our Ministry of Environment, our government, they really need to hear our cry. Because we cannot be championing at the outside world, and sometimes we have challenges when it comes to our own internal issue here. Because like, it's just not fair to us. We feel like, they need to hear our concern more, because we are all living in the same society. We saw what our people are going through. So this Banjuli of campaign, we conduct a march past. The activity was a very nice march past, a brief march past, which we conducted on the Carver Avenue Highway with students, with civil society, with the media personnel. They joined us, and we were able to, remind the people that, what do we want? It was a campaign, and it was, and people were saying, we need climate justice. And we asked them, when do you need it? They were saying that we need it right now. So that shows you that young people are demanding it right now. We don't want it to be continue to be a pledge, a promise that will continue to repeat itself every COP now and then. People pay money, go to COP. That's why up to now I am not feeling happy to go for COP.
Absolutely.
I felt like, I felt like this is the real COP right now. For us to achieve this internally, then externally, and something. I think Benita will, dissect more on some of these things.
Absolutely, because I'm really interested to know
what is the baton to you.
What the statement contains, for it to be qualified.
So the statement, because we are actually trying our best for them in keeping the 1.5 degrees Celsius alive. This is what we are bothered, because as we know, it's rising. Day by day it's rising. So this is our target basically. And how we target it is by having a roundtable with stakeholders, academia, how to call it, governments, you just name it. Because it's very important to have these people in a round table to tell them our worries, to tell them our problems. And we know the agenda for COP28 this year is on loss and damage, being it climate finance, and also the other thing was climate finance, just energy transition, this
adaptation and
adaptation, and these are all things that we want to look into. And over the past years, youth engagement over the past years, like I said, they keep on promising us, and at some point they are now going into grants. But we look at it, it's no more grants, it's debts. And we are saying no to it. As youths, we are saying no to it. So this is basically why we just come together, in order for them to be accountable for their actions. Because now they are coming into carbon credit. They are coming now into carbon credit, making it worse. Making it worse. So we are trying to tell them, no, it has to stop.
So are you expecting any difference as far as this is concerned? And if you are, what are some of the things that you are expecting to change come the COP28 or after the COP actually?
This year COP, because we felt like there will be a huge difference, because like Dubai, if you know Dubai, the economy is run by oil. So if we happen to host COP there, and them being the the host. So obviously that will definitely bridge a huge gap.
In fact, there's already been some controversy about it this week because they said that the Minister for Oil was trying to make deals with some of the people who for oil.
Exactly.
Some of the people who will be attending. So
exactly. So obviously yes. So all these things will be happening. But we felt like maybe they will also understand our concern because now they will be like, okay, we host it, because when you host it, you always have a commitment that you need to achieve. Okay, I'm sorry that this
I'm afraid that's all we got time for. Thank you very much, Mohamed Haidara and Benita Sanyang Bas, for coming on the program. And we will also we are looking forward to the COP and some of the impact it will have. Thank you very much, Mr. Ade.
Pleasure as always. Thank you.
So viewers, that's all we got time for until we come your way tomorrow for another edition of This Morning program. Bye-bye and have a nice day.